back. Tri-State Sports Guys, special guest Norwalk High Bears.
I like how they stick around. Dave Klein, he got done with that
He
segment.
couldn't get out of here quick enough.
He shook hands and I don't think he said goodbye to you.
It was all business.
He didn't like you.
Yeah, it was
He rubbed him the wrong way, he said.
It was fine. Because I was asking so many questions about Tomar.
I'm here. Stop sweating.
That's why he told me Tomar doesn't even watch the show. Turns out, guy watches the show. This week's top 10 bet in honor of the playoffs.
And
Matt
Matt
Scully,
Scully,
who is a super fan, saw Granderson's catch in the 6th or 7th inning. It was a nice catch, very nice catch. And he had the nerve to say it was up there with Andy Chavez's catch.
Look,
which, Mets we don't have a lot.
We
But
got
come
that
on,
catch.
come on,
Look,
Scully, please.
Which led us to this top 10.
Yep. Take
now,
it away.
That play was not even anywhere near as great as the play in the first inning.
Exactly.
Both in the situation and having played center field, and Tony, you played outfield. That catch in the first inning is 10 times a harder catch to make than that floater in front of you to an angle.
Yeah.
That's kind of the easiest diving catch to make. Those are the ones you set up when you're playing.
Yeah, going back like that is tough.
A line drive right over your head in a spot.
I agree with you.
Well, I'll get. You want me to go first?
I'd love for you to go
Now,
first.
we went in our lifetime, and I'm thinking biggest plays, like most,
Yep.
impressive plays. Number 10, I'm sure it's on your list, but to me, the home run that Pujols hit out of the stadium against Brad Lidge.
It almost ruined his career.
And it kind of put Pujols, Pujols is always great, kind of put Pujols, it's one of those things that you're always going to remember about him. When he goes into the Hall of Fame, he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. It kind of ruined, like you said, Brad Lidge was the best closer in the National League at the time. He's had one good season for the Phillies since then, but really, ended his career. I mean, he hit a ball out of the stadium in Houston, and it was just going up as it left the stadium.
Yep.
It was one of those memorable plays, huge spot in the game. Number 9, I did put Grandy's catch in the first inning.
What?
If you don't think that was a fantastic catch, anybody that's played outfield,
It was a great catch. It was
to
not
see
one
that
of the
catch-
10 best plays of
and to
30
put it in
years.
that situation when we had all the talk about A.J. Burnett, he was ready to implode in the first inning. That ball goes over his head. It's minimum 3-0. He's probably pulled from that game in that first. I'm telling you, he would have gotten pulled from that game if that was a bases clear and triple.
All right.
Huge spot in the game. I put where it happened in the game up in a lot of these lists. Number 8, and you could take a lot of plays out of this series, but I went with David Roberts' stolen base.
I had that in my honorable mention.
Now, granted, that game ended with David Ortiz and extra innings, and all that did was kind of tie the game. But when you look at the spot, he pinch ran. Everybody knew he was going to go. It was a bang play. It was an exciting play. Great jump right on it. Everybody knew he was stealing. Just an unbelievable play at that spot in the game. Probably, in my mind, the most memorable stolen base in the history of baseball. Think of another stolen base you could think of in the top of your head. No, none.
Jackie Robinson stealing home.
Yep.
You were
Ricky
right.
Henderson stealing
You
home.
said
and
the
putting
history.
You remember that, though,
You
right?
said the history of baseball. That's part of baseball history.
You see what I deal with, Coach Iron?
I mean, we see it as some black and white thing. It's like walking on the moon. We don't even know what happened. I don't even know.
You don't know if oh man, here we go. The dinosaurs exist in your mind?
I don't know. Who knows? I didn't see him. Now, number 7, this was the earliest one that I had in my thing, but I do remember it being a little kid and seeing the highlights over and over, is Ozzie Smith's walk-off home run in '85 in that championship series.
All right.
When the announcers go crazy. It was Joe Buck's dad or whatever.
Jack Buck, yeah.
So, guy had never hit a home run from that side of the plate. He hits this walk-off home run in the '85 series. Fantastic. Ozzie Smith, obviously one of the greats. Number 6, another one of those things that just sticks out into your mind. Edgar Martinez's double.
That's my number 9.
Walk-off double. You got the great slide by, scoring from first base by Ken Griffey against the Yankees. The Yankees blew a 2-0 lead in that series. That's one of the that was when, basically saved that franchise. They were ready to move. And they said that, that whole run got them a new stadium.
And it caused Buck Showalter to get fired because he threw David Cohn for about 250 pitches.
Right. And then it led to the
Joe Torre hiring.
The juggernaut, yeah. Number 5, I went with Jeter's flip. Now, some people like to downplay it, including the Jimmy Pellegrino site. That flip, I don't care. And even though Derek Jeter kind of downplays it, we practiced that. I played baseball at a pretty high level. So did you. Did you ever see a shortstop in between just in between the pitcher's mound and home plate, and to be there at that time and make that play, save the series?
What makes the play great is that I don't care what Jeter says, it's not practiced. And the guy, Shane Spencer, overthrew the cutoff man. Everything came in. It was 1-0. They were down 2-0 already. It was 1-0 in the 7th inning. They score that run there. Yankees are probably done.
Yeah. That was one of the most
Unbelievable play.
amazing, heads up, smart baseball plays I've ever seen in my life. Number 4, I went with the final out of Halliday's no-no last year.
That was a good play.
It was an unbelievable play. It kind of goes under the radar because everybody talks about the no-no. It was a swinging bunt by that guy with 2 outs in the
Brandon
9th
Phillips,
inning.
yeah.
And the catcher makes a play right in front of the plate, falling down, throws a strike to first base.
And the bat was in his way.
The bat was in his way. I mean, that's a play that 90% of catchers don't make that play. And
Yeah.
to do that to end a no-hitter in the playoffs, the first no-hitter in the playoffs for however many years, to me, that's a great play. It kind of
Good
goes
play.
under the radar. Nobody really talks
Very
about
good
it.
play.
Number 3 is where I put Endy's catch. Now, the spot in the game, granted they lost that game, but the spot in the game, him to make that play, I don't care what anybody says, that's one of the best catches I've ever seen in my life. Him going that high, over the fence,
Running.
timing-wise,
Yeah.
full speed running, jumps, makes a catch where half his body was over the fence, brings it back. I mean, how the Mets, only the
And
Mets
he doubled
would
him
win that
off
game.
first.
Yeah.
He doubled him off first base.
Only the Mets
Good job.
don't win that game. Any other team in the major leagues wins that game.
I had it number 7, and if they had won that game, I put it number 1.
Probably
I
number
think that
1.
could be the best catch I've ever seen.
Averaging.
I was there, and it was incredible.
In the spot, yeah, my brother was there. He said he's never heard the field louder
It
than
was
that.
unbelievable.
Number 2, I went Joe Carter's home run. Walk off.
Yep.
I think it's only the second time somebody's walked off to win a World
Yep.
Series. Unbelievable. And number 1, I had to go Kirk Gibson.
I had Kirk Gibson.
You know, I watched that highlight right now. It gives me chills to think of him. He was down in he was down in the clubhouse before the game. He couldn't even walk. People were putting the balls up on the tee for him. And they were saying when he was taking his batting practice, he couldn't even bend down to get the balls to put the ball on the tee. And he goes out and hits a home run. It's just, I mean, that's something that if it was in a movie, you'd say that's kind of a cheesy ending to a movie because that'll never happen.
Yep.
You know, so that's my number 1. I don't even think it's really questionable. What do you got?
Number 10, I got Aaron Boone's walk-off in 2003 off Wakefield after, stupid Grady Little left Pedro in way too long.
Yeah.
It was a great game. I remember watching that entire game. What an
I remember that
amazing
whole game. Yeah.
I had Edgar Martinez. Number 8, I got Sid Bream scoring on Francisco Cabrera's hit.
I wrote
Sid
that one
Bream-
down.
Sid Bream, one of the slowest people alive. And that was the end of the Pirates when they had Vince Light Bonilla. Now Bonds throws that ball just a tad late. Sid Bream barely slides in. Francisco Cabrera had about 10 at-bats.
He probably
Going-
had 10 after that. 'cause
Yeah,
who the hell knew
going
we
into that, and he hit a big pitch, and it vaulted the Braves into what they
were? I wrote
are.
that one down too, yeah.
Number 7, I had Endy Chavez. 6, I had Jeter. Number 5, I had Kirby Puckett when he went walk-off in Game 6 after he guaranteed a victory. He went to Game 7. What a moment. And earlier in that series, he had robbed Ron Gann of a home run.
Yeah,
he was just unbelievable that
ridiculous.
series.
Yeah.
Number 4, I'm not a Yankee guy, obviously, but Jim Leyritz's 3-run homer off Mark Wahlers.
Wrote that one down, too.
Talk about changing destinies of two teams. It was shocking that Mark Wohlers hung that pitch.
Yeah.
Jim Leyritz, he was good. He
He
wasn't
came
that
in
good.
as a defensive replacement. So they pinch hit for the catcher earlier in the game. He came
Yeah.
in the 5th inning.
Number 3, Luis Gonzalez's walk-off single. Not a great play.
See, I didn't
but
put it on
just-
there because it was a little bloop saying it was
but
a great play.
Still a
memorable play.
walk-off moment, memorable. I'll never forget it. And I'll never forget. There was no way in my mind the Yankees lose that game after Soriano hit that home run. Number 2, just the whole series of plays, but I got to point out Bill Buckner in '86.
How was that a best play though? It was an
It
error.
was an unbelievable comeback. Best play. If you're
Yeah,
a Met fan, it's a great play.
I thought greatest plays would have been like a great play. We're talking about great
It
plays.
was a great comeback.
That was an error, a great play. Who was great in that play? Walk
every
me
Met,
through-
every Met go.
Every
Met.
Met was
The
Munoz
5 Mets
was great
hitting.
for hitting a weak
The,
ground ball.
the
off the
5
plate.
Mets leading up to down to the last strike all day.
Just-
Number 1, Kirk Gibson changed the entire tone because everyone believed the A's were huge favorites.
Mhm.
And for Kirk Gibson to go walk off there was his only out of the series. Eckersley that year was unbelievable.
Think about the amount of steroids that were done in that dugout after that, just to get the anger out.
That was Canseco at his
Oh,
height.
they were probably spraying it like it was champagne in there.
Absolutely, absolutely. So to suffice it to say, you put
Coach, did we miss anything?
The only thing that I could think of, and I was not prepared for this, was there's 2 of them, just both home runs that the Yankees hit in right after 9/11 off by Young Kim.
Young Kim. I
Oh,
thought
Jeter
about
hit
it.
that.
I thought about
those.
No, it was Mark.
Brocious
it was
and Tino.
Brocious and
Oh, Tino.
Yeah.
Tino's the one, yeah.
To me, those 2 home runs were the best 2 nights.
Tino's the one, yeah.
those were unbelievable.
It's amazing that when you think about it, that not only did it happen, but that it would happen twice to the same pitcher
Yeah.
in the
Right.
same series. Like how?
And he was so unhittable in the regular
And they
season.
still won the World Series.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
It's kind of surprising. I'm sure people are going to be over us for not putting the Jeter play into the stands. To me, when
Well,
he dove into the stands.
I had
And
that
what-
initially.
I wrote it down too, and then when I looked at it, I said, there was a great catch, but the plays into the crowd to me are
It was in the middle of the game.
Yeah, right,
Like,
exactly.
I had that initially. It was a great play.
I had Todd Pratt's home run written down originally, the one that he hit the dead center.
Yeah, I thought about that. I couldn't bring myself.
We watched it together. We were spraying champagne.
We bought parkas and we were spraying champagne over each.
It happened
Yeah.
in
Well,
college. Tony, you got anything that we missed, you think?
Wasn't there a play, Pudge, play for Florida?
Yeah.
And get drilled at home plate to
He
end
got
it,
drilled
to
at
end
home
the
plate.
playoff, to end
Never
the,
home the ball.
yeah, to end the playoff game, something
and
like
it
that.
led to, for Mike and the Mad Dog fans, that led to Mad Dog Russo going on his big rant about how he would, if they ever won, if the Giants ever won, because he couldn't believe that the Marlins out of all teams, all of a sudden were better than the Giants.
Yeah, that's right.
That was a good segment. I can't wait for the 5 and 10.
Yeah, Friday night's gonna be good.
I'm looking forward to it. One more second, we'll be back with the Tri-State Sports Guys.